Hello, folks. It's Friday, the 8th of September. Cheers. You know, connections, excuse me, the connections that we have through social media really are real, people. I can remember back when people were saying perception is very interesting. But years ago, people would say things like, social media isn't the real world. And I disagreed because I could already see that what you're saying is an inner perception. That's what you think because of the whole idea of anonymity and people acting out anonymously in ways that they wouldn't in person. But that is, in fact, an extension of the reality of the world we live in. If anything, as the years have gone by with social media being in our lives, for a long time now, it's become apparent, even more apparent to me, that the social media connection is an absolute part of society, of how we live. I'm sort of ripping on that because lately, I don't know how long now, but I find myself going to bed early when I'm done. I find myself going to bed as early as 8 o'clock, and then not every night, but some nights, like last night, I find I get up for that bathroom break, but I stay up for a while, and that's usually around 3 in the morning. But then I try to go back to bed like I did this morning. I did. I went back to bed and got up at 8. But I mentioned it on Facebook when I got up this morning at 3. I get back up this morning and see a long list of people commenting about it, how they're having the same experience. Some folks even shared articles about old sleep patterns, the big sleep and the little sleep, which I had forgotten about. I mean, that again shows how old I am. That's a term that I would hear as a child. So another person said that they think it's an indicator of stress. Well, I would agree, but I dare say that the main part of the stress that it is the stress of the planet that I'm responding to, and more so than personal stress. I mean, I have my own personal stressors. Morning thoughts. So I got to talk about it because it's happening. Thank you for your interest. The maroon colored version of RAF's No Salvation is gone. Sold out. The last 2 copies that I have reserved here for recycled sounds, I'm taking to them today. Back at the show, Stuart, the store owner, bought some records and had them all signed, but then got a hold of me the next day and asked if he could get any more. And I said, it's limited. So he said, can you just let me reserve 2 more of the maroon? So I have those excuse me, folks, excuse me. Morning. I have those to deliver to him today. But don't not buy this because you missed out on the limited edition. The most important thing about this record is the music and the performance. This truly is a world-class release. If only I could get it into the press. If only I could get it to some people who write about stuff. The album is a banger. That's what people keep telling me, Over and over, every time, people are blown away at how good it is and how much power and energy is in it. So you missed out on the limited edition. and then only 10 people got the super limited edition green vinyl um, test pressings. So get this record. Um, I may, for a little while, stop talking about it, but I'm super proud of it. Okay, so the latest person that I know of that I want to speak about who has passed away in the world of music is bassist Richard Davis. He's 93. Apparently, he passed away a couple days ago. Um, a very important and nuanced musician. This is the only solo album of his I have because they're kind of hard to find, and this one is excellent. Look at the personnel on that, and they come through. This is awesome from the very top. I played this yesterday after finding out about his passing. This is fantastic. Richard Davis was a. See, I thought about doing it, but I didn't. Grabbing more records that he's on, but I can talk about them. He was versatile, and he didn't just play jazz. He played rock, but he played on some real important jazz albums. And here's another one of them: Eric Dolphy's "Out to Lunch." If you know jazz, I know you know about this record, even if you don't like it. Eric Dolphy's style and way of playing the saxophone was so unique, there's hardly been anyone since his death who has tried to emulate him. He found his voice. It was very unique, and it would make you stand up at attention. He would just do things like blah, beep, blah. I mean, seriously. And the way he played the bass clarinet, this album is amazing. Out to Lunch is one of the standout records in the jazz pantheon. Know about that album. Know about it. Now, he also played on some records that are well regarded. One I'm going to mention because I don't like it. I understand that it's really good, but it's an example of something where it's like, no, this is not my style. He played on Van Morrison's, is it Astral Weeks? I think he's the bass player on the album that's all jazzy, and back in the day, everyone was, oh, this is so good. And I never agreed because I could hear that, I just never liked that album. And I have a story about it. Let me just do two things at once here, okay? I'm going to look up what do I have by Richard Davis in my discography that I can call up because, again, see, he's on some Miles Davis and stuff, Pat Martino. But he's also on a couple of Rascals albums I'm seeing here. And, the Van Morrison album, Moon something, I'm going to look it up. I really dislike that album. And when I was on tour with Sun Ambulance, the leader of the band, Joe, we're friends, but it's Astral Weeks. Richard Davis is on that. Now, I recognize why everybody thinks it's so good, but I myself was not. Still don't like the album. And he would play it in the van while we were on tour, on this one particular tour going out west. Pissed me off to high heaven, because he knew I didn't like it, and he would just insist on playing it, just to fuck with me. So I hate it even more. But Richard Davis played bass on that, giving it some weight, some authenticity. Am I dissing Van Morrison? Not really. No, it's just my personal experience with Van Morrison, okay? I do understand he's a bit of a twat, but that's not what I'm responding to because I don't know that. I have no personal experience with Mr. Van Morrison. He has an opinion. He expresses it. I express mine. Which reminds me. So Arbo Zylo, if you happen to see this, I actually misspoke. The first name that came to my mind thinking about the Liberty pressing plant was Timmy Euro because she was on that label. But when I think about it, I didn't get a Timmy Euro record. She actually had a cool voice, and I liked her. It was Vicky Carr, and I'm not dissing Vicky, but it was that show tunes kind of shit, And I was a kid. I was a preteen. I'm looking for some rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? That's what that was about. Also, if you see this, Arbo, sorry I haven't gotten back to these last two. I can't force it, You'll hear about them, eventually. Like I said, my first impression was like, this is okay. I got to be honest, okay? And sometimes that's not everybody likes it. Along those lines, let me just get this straight. So folks who are either new to my channel or ask me questions about stuff, like, for example, someone asked about Sparks. I don't know if you like them. And my response is, watch more of my older videos. Or another person was saying that they thought they were happy to see me showing some heavy music. Well, it ain't nothing new. I've been on here over 10 years, and if you've been watching me, you know I show a wide variety of music. And I am aware of what's good. I do have a good bullshit detector when it comes to music. I don't like everything that's good, but I recognize what's good. Okay? I do. And by that I mean, let's go back. Ted Nugent was one of my original guitar heroes. He's an unpleasant person, very unsocial, seemingly. Has it changed my opinion of his playing? No. Do I take into account what he is like a person? Of course. Probably wouldn't want to spend too much time on him, but I actually think that if I had a chance to have a conversation with Ted Nugent, it would be enlightening. So what else? Yesterday it was time to play some Sakamoto. And what I played, I have so much stuff, I've been putting stuff back, trying to. Yesterday I had a big pile I had to put back. And so, dang it, I put it back. What got me going was the single that Sakamoto made with Iggy Pop, Risky. Have you heard that song, Risky, by Ryuichi Sakamoto with Iggy Pop on vocals? It's a classic song. It had hit written all over it. It got MTV play, but not much. Fantastic song. So I was playing that 12-inch single because of the fidelity is awesome. And then I got brave and I said, okay, it's time to go here again, because this is, at first was difficult to listen to, like Black Star by David Bowie after his death. Ryuichi Sakamoto's last proper album released. I was hoping they'd get it out before he died, but they didn't. 12. These are 12 pieces of music that he played, just improvised. No forethought during his last days of dealing with the extreme pain and disability of the throat cancer. And so it's touching. It's beautiful. I mean, Sakamoto just really was a master at delicacy and poignancy. Oh, he makes me shiver. So I got through one side of this. Side 2 of this is just amazing. To be that close to death, to be in that sad a shape, and to still be producing that much beauty. I dare say, you hear him play, I'm going to say it. It sounds like to me you can hear the moments of pain while he's playing. It literally comes through what he's playing and where it goes. And then when it comes back to, it's awesome. That was really something to listen to yesterday. I'm looking to see, did I play any other records? I don't think so. No, I didn't. That was it. That was it. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. There was something else. Another thing I notice on social media is the more you share your victories, the more strangers want to come along and try to shit on your parade. I dealt with some of that yesterday and ended up blocking this person because I accepted their friendship a long time ago. A person of, seems like he's either Hispanic or something, but he would always comment about when I would post pictures of the different women I've worked with. And that led to another stranger making really inappropriate, unnecessary comments to me, and I just blocked them all because as I went to look at the person who I had accepted years ago, was like, whoa, this person may not even really be a friend, a real person. Is this some kind of weird bot or something? But it's interesting how those things happen when you're in the middle of celebrating a victory, which I am celebrating RAF very, very, very openly and very loudly. People don't like that. Some people don't like that. And I just say, fuck them, because the reason why they don't like it is because they're not doing nothing. Jealousy. Fuck them. Fuck them. Okay, people, I'm rambling, but I'm also getting ready to go to the post office with the last batch of the colored vinyl RAF No Salvation. Folks, seriously, get a copy of the album, black vinyl or CD. Got them on CD. Totally pro CD. No fucking CDR, okay? Okay, so yesterday I pulled a bunch of records, and that was kind of interesting, wasn't it? This is how I do. I'll do something and then I'll stop, and then maybe I'll do it again, then I'll stop. It's all on a whim. So let me go over here. And see, I just go over here and I know what everything is so well, but this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm wearing today. Faust. One of my favorite bands of all time. Let me just pull some Faust to show. Okay? Let me pull some Faust. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Is that all? Nope. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Faust. And no, I don't have everything by Faust. But I got a good chunk. And then the next thing after FAU is FAY. And I'll go ahead and show it because this is a wonderful album too. Bill Fay. This is an example of a record where he's talking about his life and faith and stuff. But it's really compelling and the music is awesome on here. And I love the fact that the guitarist on here, Ray Russell, is a friend of mine on Facebook. We really are friends and we talk regularly. I'm blown away at how much we vibe. You know, he's a socially conscious person, but what a cool guy. And his guitar playing really is a standout of this album. Okay, that was after Faust, but this band is very important to me. When I first got turned on to them by the Reese brothers. It was a revelation. And then shortly after that, getting turned on to them, I was record shopping in Sioux City at a legendary store that's gone, Big John's. Me and my friends Ralph and Jim and Mark walking into the store, and we were blown away because they were playing Faust, and we knew it. And they were blown away because we knew. We come in and we go, oh, that's Faust. And they went, you guys know who Faust is. See, it's one of those kind of deals. So this is their first album, and I don't know which one is more collectible, because the first album came out. I still have the note from my good friend Ralph, who I just mentioned. He gave me his copy of the black vinyl, which I couldn't find for years. I'll show the one that is more well known. This first album is a good example of early precursor to sampling, and how they still to this day have gotten away with it blows my mind. It starts off with two real obvious samples of All You Need Is Love by the Beatles and Satisfaction by the Stones. And they got away with it. So this is the one that is more well known, Faust. And this is a reissue, early reissue on Recommended Records, with the x-ray of the hand, like my shirt. There you go. This album is amazing. It is. To this day, it does not sound dated in the least, which is just incredible. They are a big influence on how I approach sound. Big influence. And then here's their second album. So the first album was clear, completely see-through, so they did the opposite for the next album. So far, this is just as amazing as the first album and doesn't sound anything like the first album. This is an original. I've had it so long that before I knew about collecting, I separated the insert from this, so I no longer have them. But I bought the reissue in the 80s, which has the inserts. This is an amazing album. It's just some of my favorite music, period, okay? Then I remember, this is my copy from when it came out. It's Partied to Death. When I first got it, immediately fucked it up because I was partying with my friends. Ralph is the one who spilled some shit on it. I don't know what we were smoking or what, but it was like almost like Faust tapes. And this was back when they were really trying to get some hype going, so this was really low priced. And they got it right away. This is incredible. This is just, I love all Faust, but this is really something. But it just stood to reason that, young stoners, the first thing we do with the record is fuck it up. And I've never replaced it. I've never replaced it. It's been reissued, but this one is special. It's special. And then Faust 4, their most commercial and yet not commercial at all album on Virgin Records. Amazing album. What else do I have by the band? Okay, let me pick them up. They're not in order, but I'll go like this. Faust. Return of a Legend, Munich, and Elsewhere. Here's Ray. Coming back from his first foray out into wherever. Faust. I highly recommend. If you don't know this band, know Faust. Okay? Nosferatu. Faust wakes Nosferatu. So that's Tim. Yeah, okay, I'll get to him. Love this album, Robbie Bondo, and I love the cover. I love this. Well, it's my color. It's my color, orange. But just love it. But it sounds like the color. That's what's so cool. And it also has a limited edition 10-inch. I've had correspondence with Faust. I don't remember exactly how. It was someone I know who was over in Europe and ended up doing something with them, had them sign a bunch of stuff and send it to me. CDs, I have signed CDs. Faust versus Dereck. This is cool because when I played South by Southwest the first time with Sun Ambulance, Dereck was also down there. So I was able to see them. You know, I wasn't able to see everyone I wanted to see because I was working. But when I saw them live, it was like, whoa, I can really see why Faust worked with these guys. And this is very cool. But you really can't really call it a hip hop collaboration. There's really nothing hip hop about this album. Free Spiel. Some remixes. Here's one I need to play more. Here's one I bought in Europe, in Germany. I was like so happy when it happened. I was on tour with Sun Ambulance. I think the year was 2007 or 8, or no, it was more like 2009 or 10. I forget what city it was, but whenever I could, which wasn't often, I would ask the tour manager, can we go to record stores, you know? And I was the only one in the band who was interested in record stores, so it was on a low priority. None of the other guys really wanted to shop. But whatever city it was, this had just come out, or hadn't been out for very long. I had never seen it. So I was delighted beyond delighted to be able to buy a Faust album in Germany. C'est compliqué. And this is from when they had a big split. And for a while there were two versions of Faust. And this one is with Zappi and the French fella, Jean-Hervé Perron. He's the one we've actually talked on Messenger. This is a good one. This is in my Faust pile because it has Faust members, Hans Joachim Ermler, and I don't know these other people, so I keep it in the Faust section so I can find it. Dynamo Club on Cubico, a label that Sakamoto turned me on to. I didn't know about that label, and he sent me something on the label. Here is the other Faust, Something Dirty. This is the other. No, I'm wrong. Okay, see, it got confusing for a while. But this one, when I first got it, I thought, is this really Faust? But yes, it is. They follow their muse and do what they freaking want to. This is awesome. Patchwork. This is just awesome. You know, I'm not even going to try to explain what it is. It's just awesome. Now, here's one that took me a while to get it. But this is Faust. Faust doing a Nurse with Wound collaboration album, Disconnected. And it's not a comfortable ride. I think this is on colored vinyl. Let me look. I think it is. Yeah, it took a few listens for me to be able to penetrate this. Yeah, and both albums are different colors. That one is orange, and I like this cover too, so I'm going to see what's the other color. Is it yellow? Yeah. Yellow. Definitely the sort of thing that I like. And I'm just going long. When I'm done with these, I'll stop. 71 minutes of Faust. Munich and Elsewhere is part of this. It's a double album. Great stuff. Faust Live, where they toured the U.S. and had collaborations across the tour with different people in the different cities, and my color here. And so this one is an uneven, it's like it's a documentation of what happened as opposed to making sure you have something good to listen to. And I'm able to respect that and listen to it in that context. Here's one I bought not that long ago, so I need to really check this out again. Odd Circa Doozy. Kind of glad I did this. It's like I don't remember what this one sounds like at all. My dudes, my peeps. Faust is my peeps, yo. I like these people. I like what they do. That's fat. Okay, am I done with Faust? No, that got stuck in there. This is okay. FAT and then FAU. This is cool. I don't know much about this band, but this is in that same sort of territory where they're doing like, what are they doing? What are they playing? What's going on? Hit. This is really cool. And then Punked. This is the last album that if I understand correctly, this is the recordings last made for Virgin, where the label kind of got wise to Faust. Faust got signed because their manager Uwe Nettelbeck told them they're the German Beatles, and the label fell for it, and Faust never followed through. And so by the time we got to this album, they said, "Okay, we got punked. Fuck you guys." Excuse me. And the last two Faust albums I got, these came out as part of a box set, which I couldn't afford, so I don't have it. Momentaufnahme 1 and 2, and these are that's good Faust. Okay, folks, if you don't have the RAF, I keep saying it because I have so many of you viewing me, and it's like, buy the album, and if nothing else, buy it to show support to the channel. But I'm telling you, if you get the RAF and you like hard rock, or if you like punk, you're in for a treat. Family, I'm always thinking of you. Love you all. Take care, everybody.